make mistakes now, 'cause I don't wanna stay, wanna live my own life, wanna feel passion for something or someone that makes my world turn upside down, wanna give it up for something or someone that's better than this. So don't be too offended, I had to leave, there's nothing in for me, no, I'm not fitting in, I've packed my things to go, am I being naive? But it's my choice to make, it's my new rebellious way.
What's up, everybody? Welcome everybody to a new show. My name is Petra Verbruggen, and it's great of you to be here. It's a Saturday. It is 7 p.m. Central European Time. That is the standard time. So if you live in the UK, that would be 6 p.m. If you live on the east coast of the US, that would be 6-hour difference, 1 o'clock. And otherwise, about 11 a.m. if you live on the west coast of the United States or Canada. Great of you guys to be here. I did do something differently earlier during the countdown. Maybe next time we already also will be doing maybe some pre-show, a bit of talking around. But I thought this time around, let's keep it to the music for now. But indeed, I think that it would be cool to have some time with each other. Hey, welcome everybody, and indeed, as my dad was just mentioning in the chat, let me get his remark here somewhere. Yeah, it is indeed the case that Kermit is no longer my only cat that I have. Kermit is literally here in the studio. He's doing some cleaning. He's doing his job being a cat. However, in my living room is the new cat. His name is Scooter, and he's beautiful. I love him a lot. I actually have some pictures from him during the car drive today. He's literally at my place for about 5 hours, 6 hours, no more than that. You can imagine that if you introduce two cats, that doesn't go very well. Definitely the case. I can tell you there's definitely a cold war going on there. But I think that looking at where they are right now compared to where they were 6 hours ago, I'm pretty sure that in about 3-4 days there will be very big pals or friends or companions. At the moment, definitely not. But maybe we are in for a treat. The new guy, Scooter, is really active. He might be even climbing up my back even. That's something new. But let's see how far we will get. So that's a little bit of a starting show of the show. So let me say hello to some people. Welcome to MT, of course, like always. Thank you very much for being here. Joel is also in the house. Welcome, welcome. Rudy is in the house. He's always from Belgium. Viel is also in the house from Finland. And you guys are liking the before the stream look. Yep, the pre-show, as I want to call it. Indeed, great. Okay, cool. I will definitely look into that a little bit more. Then let me see. Happy is Saturday. A friend says, Jason, welcome, welcome. Appreciate you for being here. Roland is in the house. DJ Petro rocks. Yeah. So if you see me behind the scenes, you will see that I actually have my music on. I love this music. So basically, I'm jamming to it, and that's basically also giving me a lot of energy to talk to you guys, which is really, really cool. Also, Garrett is in the house, or Gerhard, I have to just say, from Stuttgart, Germany. Welcome, welcome. A lot of people saying hi to people. Is there an audio issue again? Should not be the case. I tried to fix it, but I thought it was fixed. But if that is still the case, oh, it's fine from my side. Perfect. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So, yeah. So today is, as you can imagine, with a new cat. It's a bit free format today. Didn't have a lot of time to prepare myself for this show, but I have prepared myself, so don't worry about it. Let's talk here a little bit about what I've done so far. So last time you saw me working on my flight case. Now, this is not the end result. Let me be very clear. It was based on a 9-year-old 6U rack, which I already had by SKB, I believe it is. It's 6U, so basically I have 4 19-inch pieces of equipment, then two free positions, you know what I mean. And then there's also a drawer where I have put the ATEM Mini. And I actually have a picture that I've took when I was there. And this is the picture that I have. And on the left-hand side, you see the full 19-inch rack. Let me tell you from top to bottom what is in there. Above, you'll see a data video monitor, 17-inch, that displays the multi-view. It has SDI and HDI built in, so I can also use it, for example, for monitoring the web presenter if I would like to. I can also use it for monitoring the program out if I would like to. Basically, that is all possible there. However, I'm actually using it solely for the purpose of the multi-view. Below that, you'll see the green buttons. These are the COMMS utility that I have. Also by data video, it actually can have 8 COMMS channels, all analog based on a 5-pin XLR cable, but it does come fully packed with 4 backpacks, 4 cables of 20 meters, and that is what I have. I don't have 8. I also don't think that I need 8 positions moving forward. However, 3 is very typical for me. In this particular instance, I only needed 2 of the backpacks because I only had 2 camera personnel that were actually physically there. Below that, you'll see 3 times a mini Terranex device. 2 of them are SDI to HDMI converters. One of them is a Ultra Studio Mini HD. So I did pull the trigger on that one because that makes it very easy to load graphics. And the graphics are actually done by the laptop that you see on the right hand side, which is vMix, the same piece of equipment that I'm using, the same software that I'm using for this stream. However, I am now using it for everything, like ingesting cameras, overlaying via the built-in software, and also streaming. But in this case, it was solely used for overlays and playing videos. That's all it did. Right on the right hand side, you see in front of the laptop, you'll see the Scarhoy device that I use for PTZ control, because I also had 2 PTZ cameras active. And on the left hand side, you see a Stream Deck XL. Stream Deck XL indeed, and that was used for automation using a companion that was also running on that laptop, which was a Windows laptop. So as you can see, that was the setup, and I have to admit it was gorgeous. I have some pictures that we can discuss that are more detailed, but this is just a bit of an overview so that everybody knows what I've done. Now, let me first tell you before I start, why did I take this with me to that gig, which was a, thinking out loud, 12-hour gig. Yes, 12-hour gig where we had 2 locations, and I actually have a screen that will provide you insights in that. So let me do that very quickly. Yep, there you go. So on the left hand side, you see the stage. This is where there were basically in the afternoon there several concerts or people playing carnival music. It could be 1 person, it could be 2 persons, it could be up to 5 persons, and we had 3 cameras there. Now I'm using a webcam as a icon here, but they were not webcams. They were all Sony based cameras, so professional grade cameras, and all 3 of them were connected via a 20 meters XLR cable for the intercom, and also 20 meters SDI cable. Next to that, on the right hand side, you see the radio studio, and there were 2 PTZ cameras, and those PTZ cameras were also connected via SDI. However, the control and the power went through PoE and the router that was inside of the flight case. And last but not least, there was also a mixer involved, because of course there was a live people were singing live, so we had to mix it so that it sounded great, and that end result was pushed into the camera that was central in the stage area, and that was used throughout the whole day from 8 a.m. in the morning all the way to 8 p.m. in the evening. And that was also the reason why I could not go live last week, due to the fact that that was just not possible for me at all to do that. Anyway, so that gives you a bit of a understanding on how things were connected. I'm trying to get you guys back to the set. Let me see if there are some questions already. Is the audio is clipping intermittently? That might be because of this. So let me know if this is better. It should be working otherwise. Stanley is all the way from South Africa. Have I missed drinks? No, you have not missed drinks. Not yet. Not at all. But you did miss the announcement that Scooter, my new cat, my second cat, is alive and well in my living room, and we are trying to get used to it. It's very small. He's this small. It's really small. Rahul is in the house. Welcome, Rahul. Really great of you to be here. And MT says, great to hear the new build works so well, and I guess without any hiccups. Technically, I would state there was only one hiccup that I was a bit shocked about. It did not interfere in any way with the the broadcast. However, it did not feel really right. And let me see if I have a close-up picture of that so that I can show you. I think that I have one. Let me see. Or though I don't, sometimes I only create videos. Looks like I only have videos on that one. Oh no, this is it. This is perfect. Let me show you. All right, this is a close-up. Boom, there you go. Note the on the left Terranex. I cannot. There you go. This one, as you can see, was pushing out this picture, the Terranex Mini, and that should have not been. It should be a logo in this case. This is the fill. But this one should be the key, but it showed this. Now, it did not interfere at all with the broadcast, but you can imagine that once that happened, I was like, this is not okay. So what I did is that because it was PoE and because the PoE device was right on top of it, I could easily just remove that cable, which was the purple on the left hand side, the purple, the most left purple one. That was the one that was also below. I just put that out and put it back in like 10 seconds later, and it went perfectly, which was great. But it was a bit of a challenge. But nothing happened on the video that was going out. That was really great. That was really something that basically the whole reason why I have this flight case. I wanted to avoid having these kinds of issues, and it literally was the case. So what I believe that was happening was either it went into a screensaver mode, or alternatively it went overheated. But that's quite awkward because the other two were not overheated. So anyway, it worked. So I was happy. Nothing went wrong, apart from another thing, and that was that, and this is also a good thing. Let me see if I can find it. If I can find that product. There you go. Yes. And that is the web presenter. I also used the web presenter this time around. It was not in the flight case, as you can see right here. It was actually about 30 centimeters from the flight case. The cool part is that I could actually see if everything went well. So it was stating on air. However, during the full day, there were 3 times that it actually was blinking on error. Which I saw because it was in my eyesight. I could actually see it happening, which meant that Facebook was actually just pushing us out of the stream because we were playing some copyrighted music, which we were a bit shocked about it because it was all carnival related music and it was all local. But for some reason, like not the full day, but three times throughout the whole day, Facebook said, hey, what you guys are doing is not okay. We're going to kick you out. So that was a bit of a bummer. However, we saw it and we were offline for maybe 5 minutes at the most, due to the fact that, of course, you see it, but you're also performing your production. So it did take some time to get used to it. However, it was literally just going into the the laptop, changing the web presenter stream key, and just pushing it back to the unit, and boom, go live again, which was quite easy to do. It is my phone. It's definitely my phone, guys. The good trusty web presenter, indeed. It was really going very well, guys. Remind me next time to put my my phone, if I'm using it, on the right hand side as far away as possible, because I think that the microphone is picking that up. I think that is the reason why you guys have some issues. Okay, and this should be better at least. Okay, so that is that. Let me see if I can find something else. So another thing that I wanted to show you is, where is it? Okay, so here you go. Here you have a different look of the location where I was. So I was sitting in what we call the area where the presenters can sit and talk to each other, and on the behind the window you see the technical room. And that's also where the mix was performed. And I want to go to another. Whoop, let me try to get some distance now, guys. Okay, and this is the vMix setup that I had. So as you can see, seriously, I actually used about 64 inputs. 64 inputs on vMix. I am not kidding. I actually used all of them. I really needed all of them. However, the reason why I needed all of them was because I was already making sure that if I needed to do something else as a troubleshooter or what, I could easily just ask somebody else to sit there and use the Stream Deck, which was also easy to use. At least that's the idea of it. Now, why are you not showing it correctly, guy? Yeah. This is it. There you go. All right. So we had a top 44. So every single title and artist was created. So we had 44 buttons, and in between some of those buttons there was also some slides that were providing you a overview. So for 44 to 34, for example, was an overview. 34 to 24 was an overview. 24 to 12 was a overview, and then from 11 to 4 was an overview, and of course 3 to 1 was very important. But also adding additional things like, for example, a stinger transition, which we need to talk about because I have a nice website for that for you guys. So a stinger transition. I created a video with all of the commercials that we had. We had like 3 minutes of commercials that we needed to run every hour. So that was also very cool. So actually, I would state it was a very successful situation. Some other close-ups again. So this is for the PTZ control. This device is by Scarhoy. It allows me to, on the left-hand side, to zoom in and zoom out. On the right-hand side, to pan left, right, up, down. But also it's push sensitive. So if I push very slightly, it will move very slowly. If I push more firmly, it will also be more fast. Then below you can flip between camera selection and preset selection. So basically I had to go to the next level, say I want to change camera 1, go down, and then I see I have 4 different presets that I can choose. And if I would love to, I didn't use it. I could also use it to change, for example, the iris and that kind of stuff. However, I really didn't do that, to be honest. But this is a very nice product. It was literally, I did not even have to configure anything. It was just putting the Ethernet port into the PoE router that I have in my flight case with the PTZ cameras. And I also have a picture of the PTZ cameras, by the way. Where is it? There you go. So these are the PTZ cameras that I had. So I had 2 of them, and I literally only had to switch on the Ethernet and switch on the camera, and within a matter of 20 seconds or so, we were good to go, which was unbelievably successful. I was really, really happy with that. So again, Ethernet port for power and for the control, and SDI for the video. So that was that. And these were the cables that I had for No, let me continue with that. So the cameras were looking something like that. So this is the radio studio that we had. We built the whole carnival look and feel to it. A lot of balloons and animals and music and that kind of stuff. It really made it very, very nice. So that was that. Let me see if I have another. Oh, yes. One more thing is that we didn't have only one vmix, but we have two vmixes, because this is the vmix that we have in the studio. This is the same video vmix that I'm also using for the church service every Sunday. On the left hand side, you see the output of the ATEM, including the overlays from the vmix laptop. It's coming in via a fiber HDMI cable, which is 20 meters long, which was brilliant. It worked like a charm, no issues at all. And the only thing that we did was to flip it to the program out, and basically that was that. The only reason that you see it here twice is that on camera it looked a little bit more nice to see that view. That was the only reason. And let me see if I have something else that I want to show. Going through it very quickly. Oh yes, the cables. So on the other side, and so that was the radio. Let's stop with the radio. Let's see if we have some questions with related to what we just mentioned. I can imagine that it goes very fast. Better, but now again some squeaky when you come too close to the mic. All right, so I'll try to get it as far as I can. I should not be going. I will even remove a little bit of the. Oh wait, I think that I know what it is. Wait a sec, guys. Let me fix this quickly. I'm going to the microphone here. Microphone setup. That's it. There you go. That should be better. I should be less loud, but it should now at least be better, guys. Okay. Oh dear, an amount of preparation beforehand. Yes. It took me to create the vmix project. It took me 2.5 hours to create that. I'm looking there because Kermit is doing some awkward stuff at the moment. But those 2 hours did mean that I could very easily focus on the show, and also sometimes, drink some coffee and not have to worry too much. Because of course, if you only have 2 PTZ cameras and there's only one person in a radio station, it's not like you have to switch cameras every 10 seconds, right? It does not have to be that way. So sometimes during the song, we typically, and there was nothing to really see, we just left it on one shot, and maybe we flipped maybe twice or 3 times through a whole song. But once the person really started to speak, we just added some frequency to make it more easy to understand. And especially when there were 2 people in the studio, then it was great. All right. I haven't had some time to play around with our new Superjoy. That Superjoy is really cool. The only thing was that the Superjoy is of course bigger, and I wanted it to still be as small that I can actually drive only once. So that's the reason why I didn't bring the Superjoy this time around. Also, I actually created my own multi-cable. So what I basically did was I added the blue cable, which is the SDI cable, and the black cable, which is a 5-pin XLR cable. I velcroed them together every I would state 10-15 centimeters apart from the very end, and basically that made it one cable, and it also saved a lot of time during the build up, but also the tear down, because it was because there were two cables, it actually was also easier to roll out and roll back, which was really cool. I did not have those cables with the PTZ cameras, so I will definitely go back and create two of these again for them as well, because it is really, really better than what we are used to. Yeah. Let me see if I have more to show, because I want to make sure that I have. Oh yeah, some learnings, of course. One of the learnings that I had is that there are a few. So the first learning was that if something happens like it did on this picture, like this one on the left hand side, that it was going wrong, in my opinion, I could easily fix that. There was not a big problem. I also made it so that it was all arranged via the DSK here, that is red. So if something would happen, I could just easily just hit the DSK off and you will not really be bothered with it. But another thing that I've learned on this is cable management. Of course, you can see that the cable management with all the Ethernet cables in the front was maybe not the best idea, to be honest, right? That might not be the best thing ever. So that is the reason why I will either change the router to the back of the flight case, or alternatively I will make sure that I have a better way to route the cables on the left and right hand side. Both of them are okay in my opinion. However, you might already know that I will be I will not be using this flight case for a long time, because I already purchased an 8U flight case that also has wheels, and those wheels are really important because it is already very heavy, and yes, I can carry it still, but not for a long time. So I want to have something that I can put it on, or at least I want to be able to trolley it forward, and that is basically the reason why I bought that device. It should have been already here yesterday. However, due to some unforeseen circumstances, most likely COVID related or something else, it is postponed till next week. Once I will get the new 8U rack, I have a question to you guys, and I really would like to know from you if you would like me to provide a let's say multiple videos on the build of that rack, where I will be building the rack from per component. So I will just start from scratch. I will show you the rack, how it looks like without anything in there, plan out how I want everything to be located. That might be one video so that you understand what comes into it to build it, the thought process. Then per component to create a video on that component, and then during that video put it into the rack. That way you know exactly what the component is all about, how it works, why it is so important. Because, for example, how do I make sure that the tally lights are switched on and switched off? That might be something that you're interested in. So that means that 8U rack, that at least you have like 6 or 7 videos that are all related to that video rack. Once that is done, I have something new to tell you, is that there will be a second rack coming. And might be again using the old 6U rack that I'm now just gonna remove altogether. But that will be a audio rack. So one rack will be fully related to video. That will then include also in the same rack, in the rack built in the web presenter, the hyper deck, and a third SDI to HDMI converter, which means that I have 8 SDI to HDMI converters in one single rack at that time. So that means that the whole ATEM Mini will be 100% SDI based. It will also contain, and I already have it, the video hub, the smart video hub 12 by 12. So that also means that I not even can exactly tell what channel goes where. I can also make sure that I'm not only pushing out program out to one device or to two devices, but I can be very, very flexible to it. So maybe I want to have the multi-view not on one monitor, but also on the monitor on the audio rack, for example, which probably will have a monitor as well. Not the expensive one that I have in this in the video, but a cheaper one. However, it might be something that I want to consider as well. So would you guys love to have like a Flightcase build series? I think it's very valuable because there's a lot of thought process coming in. To be honest, I have been thinking about how to perform these flight cases for a year now. And you're like, why a year? Well, because first and foremost, you want to know what kind of components do you want to have. Then, do I want to have a 6U or do I want to have an 8U or maybe even a 12U or 16U, right? So that's the vertical height. What comes into it? Why did I choose exactly 8U and not 6U or 10U? That might be something. You already know the reason why I wanted to have a trolley, but maybe you didn't know that. Well, in that case, how? Basically that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, the video flight case and the audio flight case will of course be very closely linked together. But they both can be used separately. So for example, if I don't need any video products, but I only need audio, I can just go with that one there. To be honest, I can use the audio setup here almost every week if I would like. So that's also a very good setup. However, I want to make sure that TechConnect can always be here even though I have a gig until 5 p.m. because basically all I need is to switch it on and that's that. That was my idea. So let me know if you like that. Jason, my friend, thank you so much for $2.79 Canadian. What if you turn on airplane mode and turn off the cell? I can turn off the cell. I cannot turn on the airplane mode because I'm using NDI to push the video into the setup at the moment. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. MT says a router and connection on the back. I did on my case only the controls in the front. Yeah, so I'm a bit. The thing is that at the moment it was really cool that I had it on the front because I knew which connector I needed to push. I could still perform switching at that time. Just had to switch it off and switch it on again. Which was, of course, on the back would be a bit of a problem. So that's one of the reasons why I want to have it on the front, to be honest. But I don't know. Would be great. A Flightcase build. Okay, good. Great stuff. Looking forward, says Mark. Thank you, Mark. Really appreciate it. And welcome, Mark. I don't know if this is the first time that I see you, but welcome and. Looking at your name, probably you're Dutch or from Belgium. So bedankt. MT says I would like to have an 8U too, but the 8U is the biggest that fits upright in my car. Definitely. Well, that was also one of the reasons why I basically also went with the 8U and also with the consideration of having to have two of them. And maybe a Pelican case for some cameras. Before you know it, your car is 100% full. And I don't own a very big car. I only own a Mazda 2, which is not the biggest car ever. But yeah, nevertheless, it was really cool. So did everything. Actually, to be honest, only the Terranex that did that awkward thing, which was not visible on the program, and the hiccups by Facebook during the live stream, and they were all related to copyright issues. I had no issues at all. What I did was on Thursday, I was building up what did I do? On Thursday, I laid down all of the cables, all of those 20-meter cables. I basically only took the web presenter and one camera, one of the PTZ cameras, and the ScarHoy device, and a different PoE router. And those 4 components made sure that I could actually validate all SDI cables up front on Thursday without the need to bring the whole flight case with me. So everything was laid out already before I started on Saturday morning. I woke up on Friday. So that was Thursday. On Friday, I worked the whole evening on the automation. So all of the text, the lower thirds, the graphics, the stinger. And on Saturday morning, I woke up at 6 a.m. in the morning, went to the studio at 6:40 in the morning, and we were ready to rock at 7:40. That was the time that everything was done. We could actually have a cup of coffee before we could start at 8. Well, we actually started a little bit earlier due to the fact that we wanted to have a countdown timer, but at 7:55 we were 100% done. So that was great, and it took until 8 o'clock. But the last 2 hours there were no live gigs anymore, so we could already remove a lot of cables. We could actually really do a lot of packing, apart from one camera for the last hour. That could not be done, but that was all. So basically we were ready 1 hour later. So at 9 p.m. we were done last Saturday, and basically everything is here again. I put everything in my my storage unit. I've put everything in my studio again. So basically that was that. But I really believe that it was the best setup that I could have with that 6U unit. But however, now with 8U, even more flexibility. I own a Smart, says MT. It's known to be small. It has a small trunk. Interesting. I was looking into a Smart the other day. I was considering to even purchase. Well, not purchase one yet. But because I'm currently driving a petrol car, or I want to look out for an electricity car. And the Smart, what was it again? The 4.2, I think it's called. That's the one that I was interested in to check out. The only problem with the 4.2 is that it doesn't have enough mileage on one charge for me to go back and forth to my work, my day-to-day job. It's a bit iffy because it's 110 kilometers back and forth, and it only has 125 on paper, which is not enough, of course. But I really like the Smart. It really looks good, cool, and yeah, 8U is quite big then indeed. Stanley has a question. Consider heat inside the case when choosing a rack size, or at least include active cooling. That is a very good point, Stanley. I was considering the backside is fully open, so I'm not plating it. That's one. But I do agree with you, Stanley, that I should maybe have a fan blowing into it from the back to give it a little bit more of a cooling factor there. So that's a good suggestion indeed. Thanks a lot. NMT says, you're right, the heat is an issue, but when you build it well, you need not that much of cooling. Anyway, I am definitely going to go. I do agree with you there as well, MT, but I will definitely look into a fan or maybe two small fans to just distribute the heat a little bit better. It is already very good, because if you look at this shot again, on the top of the Turnex on the left, basically there's nothing, because there's just a plate, and that plate is not even from top to bottom. There's a lot of holes in there as well. But indeed, I do agree with you that it can be still hot. Again, I don't know if that was the case, but I was a bit unpleasantly surprised by that logo. That's seeing that logo. I have a feeling that no. I'm hoping that the new cat is coming, but he has not come yet. He's really small, so I have to be very careful. All right. So that was what I wanted to talk to you about. It was a bit of a, hey, Kermit. This is the old cat. He's here. The new cat is probably sleeping. He had a very big day. Stanley, thanks. By the way, guys, I love the interaction between Stanley and MT, and you guys, all of you. So please go ahead and do that. So MT agreed, unless you live in a warm climate like I do. Yes, that would be indeed a problem. I luckily do not live in a very warm climate, though 40 degrees Celsius do happen here, like 2 years ago. But I really would not like to have that, to be honest. I'd rather have it a little bit colder. Anyway, that what I wanted to talk to you about. It's a little bit free format again. Big day that I had today with that cat. Therefore, I should have had a little bit more time for it, but I hope that you guys still liked the concept. MT says, before I leave, for the fans, I would recommend a 3U plate that fits 2 or 3 122mm fans to suck the air out. And because of the size, they're not that loud, I believe, right? So that is also a good thing. Right. So that is what I had in store for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I definitely had a very good learning experience. I know exactly how I want to perform the 8U rack once it comes. I will start with a video with nothing in there. I will explain to you exactly what my plan is. And then every single component will get a separate video. That will be a pre-recorded video, because otherwise it would take too long. And at the very end, you will have the full video rack. And I will also start with the audio rack at the later stage, but that will also be something that I will be working on. About the audio rack, it will be very much oriented to conferences or anything that has vocals. So not really music related, but vocals like a presenter, a person that is demoing something, or a stand-up comedian or something. Because I will have headsets like these, to make sure that you have the best possible outcome. Those headsets will be wireless. I will also have in-ear monitors available as well, and of course a mixer, X32 mixer will be used, and those two will also be combined. So I will be able to export the audio from the video into the mixer, and also vice versa from the mixer to the video as well. So I will have a full-on setup between those two, which is really, really cool, to be honest. But we're not there yet, and it will be a multi-month project. I already know that. Maybe it will not even be fully done by the end of this year. The audio rack, the video rack will be fully done by the end of this year, because I have everything that I need. Maybe apart from some cables or some connectors, but definitely on the side of the components, I'm done. I know exactly what I want, so I'm really happy with that. Joel says, thanks as always, Petra. Thank you so much. Another great show. Thanks, Petra says. Stanley, thank you so much. And that's lot for, we really appreciate it. And that was an awesome show. Thank you so much. Of course, next week I will be back. Same time, same channel. I have to admit that I have to figure out what I'm gonna do. Of course, this week is gonna be a bit awkward with two cats that need to learn to live with each other. So either it's gonna be a pre-recorded video or live, but there will be something next Saturday at 7 p.m. Central European Time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic Saturday. Have a fantastic weekend. Have a good day. Bye bye.